Check. Stop recording. SL01 column 2. Lockheed Martin registered. Pre-car 3D registered. B401. Smart cars 01. Pro ATC slash X02. Pro 8 bottom 2019/12. Object review. Daytime icon depth. Departure gate depth. Icon DST. Destination distance airline flight ID altitude aircraft. Right click. Screen review. Bottom 2019 slash right click. Fly now. Object menu like fly now. Fly now. Left click. Pane. Pro ATC slash X. Land. Pro ATC slash X 1.9.2.5. Not FMC flight plan options. Cancel. Can't help. List. Combo list. Create default flight plans. Checkbox selected. Checked. Load flight plan automatically. Checkbox selected. Checked. Add procedure waypoints. Sit slash star slash approach. Checkbox selected. Not checked. Okay. Pro ATC slash X 1.9.2.5. Date. SL01 column 2. Ops 24.0. Lockheed Martin registered. Pre-car 3D. Lockheed Martin registered. Pre-car 3D registered. V4. FS Tram. Map 1.
Cockpit preparation checklist, please.
Exterior inspection.
Completed.
Battery.
On.
APU.
On.
APU bleed.
On.
APU generators.
Running.
Weather briefing.
Completed.
Parking brake.
Set.
Gear.
Checking green light.
Throttle.
Idle.
Speed brake.
Retract.
Flaps.
All up.
Com radios.
Checked.
Transponder.
Standby.
Fuel.
Loaded and verified.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
External lighting.
Off.
Window heat.
Off.
Anti-ice.
First part is
Off.
Passenger signs.
doing the
Off.
checklist.
Checklist completed.
After
Com 1. 121.87.
first leg and on the second leg. Go to a waypoint and stop the first waypoint. And the second waypoint will be the limit. So in the meantime, we've got passengers on board. The next thing we're going to do a bit is the announcements for passengers. And
Junction 620 starts approved. Temperature's 9. X762 is clear to leave control airspace, routing Trent Norwich. Display 92 Tango departure, squawk 5163.
EC639, clear to Belfast, Order Grove, Wallasey 2 Tango departure, squawk 5165, expect Manchester 128.05, QNH chat 1002.
Clear delivery 6924 with the 80s request clearance.
6924, departing runway clear to LTAC. Fly runway heading, climb to flight level 70, expect within 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 130.95, squawk 2552, QNH 1013.
Skype row 2, ideal flight perfect, C, user speed, smart cars row 2, ops 24, SL01 column 3, SL, button, start flight button, cabin, stop, edit, flight plan, flight lost in safe, satisfied, 64, graphic, secure, 109, seated, 251, boarded, 300, passengers are boarding, 49 passengers remaining, button show current crew, settings button, view settings button open, SLC preferences window. Blank. Tab control. General tab selected. Features tab selected. Boarding. And flight services grouping. Automated flight services checkbox not checked. Checked. Include bar/alcohol service checkbox checked. Repeat throughout the flight checkbox not checked. Include hot drink service checkbox checked. Repeat throughout the flight checkbox. Include food service. Repeat throughout the flight check. Include flight movie. Repeat throughout the flight checkbox not checked. Serving times grouping. Slider 47. 52. 57. 63. SLC window. Settings button open setting. Lockheed Martin register. FS Lockheed Martin register.
You found an anti-direct to Mike Whiskey. Would you prefer to go direct to Mike Whiskey or via an anti? Taxi out through Whiskey and then down the Alpha taxiway. Holding point for 27, the QNH 1009. Your airways when you're ready.
Closest city, Leinster, 3.1 kilometers, bearing 151.
Starts approved, temperature's 9. Correct 762 is cleared to leave control airspace, routing Trent, Norwich. Initially an anti-2 Tango departure, squawk 5163.
Lockheed Martin register. SLC window. Settings button open. Settings window. Setting. Button show. Button show current. Button. Button show current text. Button. 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 Button address the cabin. Button toggle cabin music. F. Lockheed Martin.
Passengers are on board and doors have been closed.
Door closed.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit, this is your captain speaking, and I'd like to welcome you aboard the aircraft. I don't anticipate any delays, so we should be arriving bang on time at our destination. The guys at the ground are loading the final bits of luggage in the aircraft, so I expect us to be on our way very shortly. If you could help the cabin crew by getting yourself sat comfortably with seatbelts fastened, we should be ready to depart in just a few minutes. For now though, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with us today, and I hope you enjoy the flight.
Clearance delivery, man, KS2787 with the information request clearance.
Flight plan loaded. C. /users /GGBOW. Flight plan section from EIDW delivery.
Flight level 80. Expect flight level 350 within 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 130.95. Squawk 2512 QNH 1013.
Cleared at KORD by man EV Romeo 1 Alpha climb and maintain flight level 80, flight level 350 within 10 minutes after departure on 130.95, squawk 2512, QNH 1013, man KS 2787.
NKS 2787.
278 degrees. Autopilot heading hold 278 degrees. 199 knot. 2512. Transponder code 2512. Nav radio and OBS compass heading 274 degrees. 8,000 feet. Autopilot altitude lock 8,000 feet. Autopilot vertical hold 2100 feet per minute. 0.30. Autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.30.
Autumn Mach 1. Autumn Mach 1. Screen review. EIDW EIH. CR Pacific EID Mach 1 EIC. As recorded. EIDW is EIDMF.
Ground man KS2787 request startup and pushback.
Startup and pushback is approved.
Roger, man KS2787.
Temperatures at 9, QNX 1009, runway 27.
Taxi checklist, please.
Taxi checklist. Taxi lights.
On.
Position lights.
On.
Anti-collision lights.
On.
Passenger
Aircraft
signs.
lighting. Lamps on. Landing.
Autopilot.
Taxi. Strobe. Beacon. Wing. Recognition. No smoking warning. On.
Cabin crew,
Seatbelt
seats
warning.
please.
On.
Check.
Auto brakes.
RTO.
Flaps.
Left side.
Auto throttle.
Flaps 1.
Com radios.
Flaps down. Auto throttle arm. On.
Check.
Parking brake.
Release.
Taxi checklist
Parking brake off.
completed.
Parking brakes off.
Ground man KS2787 request taxi.
KS2787. Taxi to runway 28 via Bravo 6 Charlie Foxtrot 3 Alpha Echo 1.
By Bravo 6 Charlie Foxtrot 3 Alpha Echo 1 to runway 28 man KS2787.
Now we ask that you direct your attention to the
Autopilot nav lock. On. Autopilot altitude lock. 8,000 feet. On. GP. Nav radio and OBS compass heading 97 degrees.
We request that you store your luggage and take your seat so we can have an on-time departure. For those passengers seated in a designated exit row, you may be called upon to open that exit in the event of an emergency. Please
Map 2.
refer to the safety
The 321 EICBK, EID Pacifica, CRJ7 EID PAML1 LN34, DAC of Nevi EIDW4, of bid 1P. Nevi D grade 4 of bid 1H, 700 6 DDF of bid 1P, Avio, AC15, 1 SIDS, Plan Pool, 9, SIDS, 1 remaining EIDW, RW list, left click.
35,000 feet. I will notify you when it is safe to bring these items out for use. If there's any question as to what device you can use on board today, please refer to the one before.
Dialogue remaining. Preview. W expanded 101 levels. Level 1 RWY 10 101. RWY 11 101 level. RWY 16 101 level. RWY 28 101 level. RWY 29. RWY 28 101 level 1. 787 RWY 11. 405 Never Degrader its desk. RWY 16. EIDW KORD. Never Degrader its 17. RWY 28. RWY 29. Flight context menu. Use flight skip to US. Lockheed Martin registered for R3D registered D4. Submenu dialog window. Lockheed Martin registered for R3D registered D4. Flaps 0.
Flaps up. 29.92 in HG, 1013.2 millibars, Colesman setting 29.92 in HG, 1013.2 millibars, nav radio and OBS compass heading 72 degrees, autopilot nav lock, off, autopilot altitude lock, 8,000 feet, off, level flight, autopilot vertical hold 0, auto throttle arm, off.
Mach number edit red only. TOS checkbox not. Airspeed edit red only. Vertical speed. All checkbox not checked. Altitude edit red only. HDG checkbox not checked. Heading edit red only. Autopilot checkbox not checked. M button. Flight plan M2 checkbox not checked.
.280 degrees, autopilot heading hold 280 degrees, 249 knots, autopilot master switch, on, nav radio in active 117.200 MHz, nav radio in S distance measuring equipment, 35,000 feet, autopilot altitude lock, 35,000 feet, autopilot vertical hold 500 feet per minute, 0.38, autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.38, GPS nav switch nav. Auto throttle arm, on. Takeoff power, on. Auto throttle active, on. Flaps down. 10 knots ground speed. Nav radio and OBS, 20 knots ground speed. Nav radio and OBS compass setting 75 degrees. 40 knots ground speed. Nav radio and OBS compass heading 83 degrees. 70 knots ground speed. Autopilot altitude lock, 35,000 feet. On. Nav radio and 100 knots ground speed. Nav radio and OBS compass heading 93 degrees. 600 feet per 125 knots ground speed. Nav radio and OBS compass heading 95 degrees. 150 knots ground speed. Nav radio and OBS compass heading 96 degrees. 8 up. Autopilot airspeed hold 249 knots. On. 5 degrees. Autopilot heading hold 5 degrees. 60. Autopilot heading hold 6. Take up 7 degrees. Auto 400 feet. 200 knots airspeed. Nav radio and OBS compass heading 97 degrees. 2,000 feet per aircraft lighting. Lamps on. Landing. Taxi. Stroke. Wing. Recognition. 9 degrees. Auto 250 knots airspeed. 2,500 feet per minute vertical speed. 2,500 feet per minute. 2,600 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 2,600 feet per minute. Autopilot out 11 degrees. Autopilot heading hold 11 degrees. 259 knots. Autopilot 12 degrees. Auto 1,500 feet altimeter. Nav radio and heads back course. Nav radio and OBS compass heading 200 feet 13 degrees. Auto nav radio to heads back 2,500 feet alt 2,500 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 2,500 feet per minute. Autopilot altitude lock 35,000 feet. 264 knots. Autopilot airspeed 0.41. Autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.41. 3,500 feet altimeter. 2,600 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 2,600 feet per minute. Autopilot altitude lock 35,000 feet.
Golf Sierra Tango Echo Romeo, I'm sorry, caution details.
269 knots. Autopilot airspeed hold 269 knots. 4,500 feet altimeter. 0.42. Autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.42.
Intersection DWN29er. Turn right heading
5,000 feet altimeter.
Climb to flight level 150.
Clear direct EW at 29er intersection. Right turn to heading 025. Climbing to flight level 150 at KS2787.
274 knot, 12 degrees. Auto, nav radio and OBS compass heading 25 degrees.
Hold down on the mask to extend the tubing.
6,000 feet altimeter.
Your nose and mouth like so. Then slip the band over
0.43, autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.43.
Normal breathing will start the flow of oxygen. And remember,
6,500 feet altimeter.
200, 6,000 EIDW World Trap, EIQG 1120, EIMR Orbit, EIHSK, EIDMF, 70, 300, MAP 2, 8220, 300, MAP 1, EIDW,
279 knots. Autopilot airspeed hold 279 knots.
Memory deeper of 1H, 780, EIDW, 6PD. Video, Anthem, AC20RW list, 1 half memory, 28.8 NM00621H4, 1 half memory, 28.6 NM00619H4,
altimeter.
1 half memory, 28.4 NM00615H4, 3288.1 NM10532H EIDW.
0.44, autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.44.
SIDS, 1 half memory, 27.6 NM06003H4, 3200.
11 degrees, auto, 284 knots. Autopilot airspeed hold 284 knots.
cushion and put your arms through the straps found on the opposite side.
The crew will now be coming around to do a final cabin check. After takeoff, we'll be back with more information. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to ask.
9,000 feet altimeter. 0.45. Autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.45. 289 knots. Autopilot airspeed hold 289 knots. 300 knots airspeed. 2,500 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 2,500 feet per minute. Autopilot altitude 10 degrees. Autopilot heading hold 10 degrees. 334 knots. Autopilot airs 339 knots. 10,000 feet altimeter, 2,000 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 2,000 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 2,100 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 2,100 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 2,000 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 2,000 feet per minute, autopilot altitude, flight level 110, 0.54, autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.54.
NKS
344 knots. Autopilot airspeed hold 344 knots. 1,900 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1,900 feet per minute. Autopilot out 9 degrees. Auto 350 knots airspeed. Nav radio and OBS compass heading 10 degrees. Left 20% CD. 1,800 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1,800 feet per minute. 2,000 feet per minute vertical speed. 0.55. Autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.55. 349 knots, 1,900 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1,900 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 2,000 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 2,000 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 8 degrees, auto 2,100 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 2,100 feet per minute, autopilot altitude, flight level 130. 2,000 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 2,000 feet per minute, autopilot altitude lock 35,000, 1,900 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1,900 feet per minute, autopilot alt 1,800 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1,800 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 1,900 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1,900 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 7 degrees, autopilot heading hold 7 degrees. 0.57, 1,800 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1,800 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 1,900 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1,900 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 359 knots, autopilot airspeed hold 359 knots. Flight level 150. 0.58, autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.58. 1,800 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1,800 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 1,900 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1,900 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 364 knot, 1,800 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1,800 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 1,700 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1,700 feet per minute, autopilot alt 1,800 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1,800 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 5 degrees, autopilot heading held 5 degrees.
Autopilot heading hold 5 degrees, dot 1,000.
369 knots. Autopilot airspeed hold 369 knots. Autopilot Mach hold Mach 1700 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1700 feet per minute. Autopilot alt 4 degrees. Flight level 170, 1800 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1800 feet per. Flight time section from Beaver to Absent 1700 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 17. Nav compass heading 190 degrees. Right 20% CDI. 1800. Nav radio and OBS compass heading 10 degrees. Left 20% CDI. 1700 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1700 feet per 29.92 in Nav radio and OBS compass heading 6 degrees. Right 20% CDI. 1800 7 degrees. Nav radio and OBS compass heading 8 degrees. 1700 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1700 feet per minute. Autopilot altitude 379 0.62. Autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.62.
18,830.
Flight level 190. 1600 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1600 feet per minute. Autopilot altitude 8 degrees. Autopilot 1700 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1700 feet per 384 knots 0.63. Autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.63. 1600 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1600 feet per minute. Autopilot altitude 1700 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1700 feet per minute. Autopilot altitude log 35,000. 1600 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1600 feet per minute. Autopilot altitude 1700 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1700 feet per minute. Autopilot 1600 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1600 feet per minute. Autopilot altitude 400 knots airspeed. 7 degrees. Auto 0% CDI. 1700 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1700 feet per minute. Autopilot flight time section from Absent to Bell 1600 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 16. Nav radio and OBS 7 degrees. Auto 394 knots. Left 20% CDI 0.65. Autopilot Mach hold 6 degrees. Autopilot heading held 6 degrees. 5 degrees. Auto 4 degrees. Auto 7 degrees. Auto Nav radio and OBS compass heading 8 degrees. 0% CDI. Flight level 220. 1500 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1500 feet per minute. Autopilot altitude 1600 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1600 feet per minute. Autopilot altitude log 35,000 feet. 1500 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1500 feet per minute. Autopilot altitude log 35,000 feet. 1600 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1600 feet per minute. Autopilot alt 404 knots. 1500 feet per minute. Autopilot vertical hold 1500 feet per minute. Autopilot altitude flight level 230. 1500 feet per minute, 1600 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1600 feet per minute, autopilot altitude log 35,000 feet.
Level 230 for flight level 350.
1500 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1500 feet per minute, autopilot altitude, right 5% CDI. 0.68, autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.68.
9110. Climb to
Flight level 240.
Climbing to flight level 220. Liner 110.
.14 knot, 0.69, autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.69.
4,000 feet, 1019, American 46. 20.4,
Flight
American
level
46.
250. .70, 1400 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1400 feet per minute, autopilot altitude lock 35,000 feet.
Climb to flight level 240.
Climbing to flight level 240.
1500 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1500 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 300 degrees. Flight line section from Delta Kibur, nav radio and OBS compass heading 299 degrees, 424 knots. Nav radio and OBS compass heading 305 degrees, 0.71, autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.71. 1600 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1600 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 298 degrees, autopilot heading hold 298 degrees. Right 90% CDI, right 60% CDI, right 30%, flight level 207, 0% CDI, left 10% CDI, left 20% CDI. 1500 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1500, left 30% CDI, 1300 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1300 feet per, left 40% CDI, 1200 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1200 feet per minute, left 30% CD, 1400 feet per minute vertical speed, 0.73, autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.73, left 20% CDI. 1300 feet per minute vertical speed, 450 knots airs, 1300 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1300 feet per minute, autopilot altitude, left 10% CDI, 1400 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1400 feet per minute, autopilot altitude, 1400 feet per minute vertical speed, 0% CDI. 0.74, autopilot Mach hold Mach, right 5% CDI. Right 10% CDI. Flight level 290, right 20% CDI. 1500 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1500 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 444 knots, 1400 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1400 feet per minute, autopilot altitude lock 35,000 feet, 0.75, autopilot Mach hold, right 30% CDI. .76, autopilot Mach hold, flight level 300, 1300 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1300 feet per minute, autopilot altitude lock 35,000 feet. 1300 feet per minute vertical speed. 0.77, right 40% CDI.
SIDS 1/2 Cooper 118.9 nm 01613 H KORD 3204.0 nm 717 10 EIDW
454 knots. Autopilot airspeed hold 454 knots. 0.78. Autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.78. Flight level 310.
Lufthansa 4640, leaving flight level 900, descending flight level 80.
Left head 130, speed 891.
459 knot, 0.79, autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.79. Right 50% CDI. 464 knots, 0.80, autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.80. feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1200 feet per minute, autopilot altitude Mach 35,000 feet. 469 knots, 1300 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1300 feet per minute, autopilot altitude Mach 35,000 feet, 0.81, autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.81.
Reach 5275, climb flight level 290.
Flight level 330. 1200 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1200 feet per minute, autopilot altitude Mach 35,000 feet. 474 knots, 0.82, auto 1300 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1300 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 296 degrees, autopilot heading held 296 degrees. 1200 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1200 feet per minute, autopilot altitude Mach 35,000 feet.
Bye-bye. Weather heading to Scottish 129.
1200 feet per minute vertical speed. 479 knots, flight level 340. 1300 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1300 feet per minute, autopilot altitude 1200 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1200 feet per minute, autopilot altitude Mach 35,000 feet. Right 60% CDI. 0.84, autopilot Mach hold Mach 0.84.
Bristol 116, are you requesting any higher this time?
Affirmative, with appreciate level 310, Bristol 116.
Autopilot airspeed hold 400, autopilot Mach hold Mach 1300 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1300 feet per minute, autopilot altitude Mach 35,000, 1200 feet per minute vertical speed. Minus 200 feet per minute vertical speed. 300 feet per minute 1200 feet per minute, autopilot vertical hold 1200 feet per minute, autopilot altitude Mach 0 feet per minute, level flight, autopilot vertical hold 0, autopilot altitude Mach 500 knots airspeed, 200 feet per minute vertical speed.
5275, contact London 135.57, goodbye.
Flight level 350, 100 feet per minute vertical speed.
Speedbird 295, thank you.
London, good morning, Jersey 5223. Radar heading 155,
34,650 feet
0
ATL.
feet per minute vertical speed.
What's your request level?
34,659 feet ATL. 34,997 feet ASL.
Shuttle 7 Yankee, contact London 131.12. 112, Shuttle 7, bye-bye. Bye.
Just to let you know, we've reached our cruise level and we're not anticipating any major delays, so hope to have you at your destination.
Closest city, Letterkenny, Ulster, 8.6 kilometers. Fair. Ideal flight professional 01, SLC 01, column 3. SLC window. Button toggle. Button toggle seatbelts.
Relax and enjoy the flight. Thank you.
NKS2787.
Seatbelt warning,
Contact
off.
Shannon on 132.15.
132.15, man. KS278.
100 feet per minute vertical, 0 feet per minute vertical speed.
12317, call to 2671, bye-bye.
Contact London 120-52.
Lockheed Martin registered. Ideal flight professional 01, column 3.
Man, KS2787. Flight
Low
level.
ATC slash S01, column, ops 24.0.3, 64, ops 64 slash stop recording.
Identified.